Welcome to Quick MCAT Lessons, where I try to explain MCAT topics in 10 minutes or less. Today, we're diving into the cell theory and domains of life. So let's start with a bit of history. Prior to the 1600s, organisms were thought to be complete and inseparable into smaller parts. Now, admittedly, this was partly due to us not being able to see smaller structures. So in 1665, Robert Hooke assembled a microscope and tested its properties on a cork. He saw a honeycomb-like structure and compared the spaces within the cork to the small rooms of a monastery, which were called cells. But cork consists of non-living cells, so Hooke could not see organelles. In 1674, Anton van Leeuwenhoek was the first to view a living cell under a microscope. Later, researchers found that tissues were made of cells, and the function of a tissue was dependent on the function of the cell from which it was formed. In the early 1800s, Theodor Schwann and Matthias Schleiden proposed that the cells are the basic building blocks of all living things. In 1850, Rudolf Virchow demonstrated that diseased cells could arise from normal cells in normal tissues. The ideas of all three scientists, Schwann, Schleiden, and Virchow, led to cell theory. Cell theory is a fundamental principle in biology. It consists of the following tenets. 1. All living organisms are comprised of one or more cells. 2. The cell is a basic unit of structure and function in organisms. And 3. All cells arise from pre-existing cells. Now, there has been a modern addition, and this says that cells carry genetic material in the form of DNA, which is passed on to daughter cells during division. This framework helps us define what is considered a living organism. Organisms that do not meet all of the criteria, like viruses, are considered non-living. Now let's move on to the domains of life. So all known life is categorized into 3 domains based on genetic and biochemical differences. Bacteria, which are unicellular prokaryotes with cell walls containing peptidoglycan. Archaea, which are unicellular prokaryotes that live in extreme environments and have unique lipids and gene expressions similar to eukaryotes. And Eukarya. This includes all organisms with membrane-bound organelles, such as animals, plants, fungi, and protists. So what makes something alive? Well, to be considered alive by MCAT standards, an entity typically must exhibit metabolism, respond to stimuli, grow and develop, maintain homeostasis, reproduce independently, and have cellular structure. Now, there is a dilemma regarding viruses as they contain genetic material, but they lack metabolism, do not grow, and cannot reproduce without a host cell. And this is why viruses are not considered living organisms under cell theory. That's it for today. Next time we'll talk about archaea and introduce bacteria.